One of my subscribers who goes by the name of, currently anyway, Jackass Whiskey and Pinto Beans, has made a request. And the request is this: a side by side tasting of the Big Peat and the Monster, the Peat Monster. Well, I thought I wasn't going to do this. I thought I might do it, but then I just had a really great time on the Scotch Test Dummies live broadcast with Mark from Whiskey Whistle, which was a wonderful show, an enjoyable show. And there's always the stuff on the sidelines where it's a chat going on. And I always enjoy doing that while listening to the dummies and their guest talking about whatever whiskey they are tasting. They tasted something from Ireland. It was a West Cork Irish whiskey, and the other thing they did was the Johnny Walker Black. I had neither of those, but I had a green spot, and the other thing I had was a Johnny Walker Green because I still have some of that. And it's getting close to the heels, so it's starting to lose some of its flavor. It's getting a little flat. Maybe I should throw some of this in there and give it back its kick. Anyways, I'll do this. I'll try these two side by side. I'm using two identical Glencairn glasses. These are both from the 2015 Whiskey Festival here in Victoria. And the way that worked out, why did I get two? That's about right. Well, I'll tell you why I got two. Everyone who has a ticket gets one. And then at the end of, peat, I'm smelling peat already. And then once you have yours, it is requested or recommended that you hold on to it. Did I get that even? Ooh, almost. A little bit more of the Monster. Just a little bit more. Yeah, so I got these. I had my one glass. And then just at the end, while I was sitting in a chair and waiting for my ride home, somebody put a dirty glass right in front of me. And it was a 2015 Whiskey Festival. So I've had these for just over 2 years. Here is the Big Peat. On the nose, I'm getting peat and a sweetness. The sweetness smells a little bit like it's coming from sherry. And as well as that sherry, there is a citrus note. It's almost like a fire that's gone out. It's sort of like a suggestion of ashes. Let's go to the nose on the Monster. A lot less ashy. Oh, there are fruity notes. The peat isn't that heavy. It's not that thick. There is peat, yes. It's more of a medicinal iodine peat, like in a Lefroy. Maybe there's some Lefroy in here. It doesn't say. And there's more sweetness here, and none of that ash note. Both are quite light in color. Natural color, I'd imagine. And I imagine that if I was to add some water, it would get a bit of Scotch mist. Back to the big peat. See if I can get anything else out of it. Along with the ashen note, there's a bit of a nuttiness here. More of a hazelnut kind of thing. Don't forget, these two bottles were both opened on the same day, 2 months ago, or a little over 2 months ago. There's a nuttiness here. The nuttiness is like hazelnuts. Cashews, maybe. Maybe a bit of peanuts. Do I get a nuttiness here on the Monster? No. In comparison, I'm getting fruits more. I'm getting some apple and cinnamon underneath the gentle peat. It's a gentler peat than the big peat. Apple, cinnamon, cherries, maybe a little bit, like maraschino cherries. Maybe a very tiny hint of a maritime note. Bit of iodine and a bit of a suggestion of salt. I still have Johnny Walker Green on my palate. Okay, big peat again. Yes, a bit nutty, a bit ashen. I'm getting the suggestion that it's going to be drier. It's more of a bonfire that's gone out peat, while the Monster is a little bit more medicinal, iodine, mineral. Just has that organic, ashy thing going on. Let's taste it. Along with the bonfire and ashen peat, there's a hint of something fruity, but it's more of a dark fruit. It's like a cranberries almost. Reminds me of cranberry sauce that we used to get with a turkey on Thanksgiving. Yeah. There's that dry ashen peat, some maraschino cherry. The peat coats the sides of the mouth. And there's just a hint of that fruit, that red fruit, berries, just on the tip of my tongue. And let's cleanse the palate. Once again, and have a couple more pulls of the Monster. Maybe I should have tried the Monster first. Oh, it's a little bit more tarry, medicinal, mineral, iodine than the Big Peat. I'm getting trouble is the stronger one will always dominate, and that's all you're going to taste. I'm not getting the subtleties of the monster right now because I have already tasted the Big Peat. Yeah, it's a bit salty and maritime. A little bit sweet. Sweetness, where does it come from? I don't know. I'm thinking maybe the wood that it was aged in. Maybe they were first fill bourbon. And of course it's a blend, so it's had different whiskeys put in it, and they're all aged in different barrels, so it's hard to really pin down what causes what in a blend. But this is lovely. What did we say? Was it 46? Yeah, it was 46% alcohol by volume. And the Big Peat is also 46% alcohol by volume. They're very well matched in the type of products that they are. There's that hazelnut note again on the palate, along with the ashy, burnt out bonfire. I really like that. The peat is stronger here than on the Monster. The Big Peat has more of a peat smoke flavor to it. It's overpowering. You can get past it and get to the nutty bits. And if you like it more medicinal and more iodine and maritime, this is the way to go here on the Peat Monster. Both of these are excellent blends of Scotch, of peated Scotch. Now, which is better? I paid about $160 for this one. I paid about $90 or $100 for that one. If it's a question of price, the Monster, the Peat Monster for sure, anytime. If price is no object, all things being equal, I would give them, if I scored these things, I would give them equal scores. It's a question of preference. Do you prefer it a little bit more medicinal, a little bit more briny, a little bit more fruity? Do you prefer it more bonfirey, ashen, and nutty? Well, there's your nutty one, and the ashen, nutty one. And here is the one that's a little more fruity and more medicinal. Both really wonderful. And slancha.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Yeah.